Welcome back. Today's topic that we'll be covering is assets versus liabilities. How to increase your assets and decrease those liabilities. So let's jump right in because I know you ladies are excited. So let's talk about assets first, right? So an asset is defined as an item that you own, right? An item that can provide a future economic benefit. And a liability is defined as something that you owe to other people. So we have assets and we have liabilities. And let's talk about how assets and liabilities tie into you becoming financially free and financially stable. Oftentimes, when we review our money, we don't think about assets and liabilities, especially if you're young, around 16, 17, 18 years old, possibly even in your 20s. You're kind of just familiar with the concept of having your paycheck. But when you're building true generational wealth, true legacy building, when you're striving to come debt-free, you must understand the difference between an asset and a liability. So another way to look at an asset is as a financial resource, right? Something that pays you versus a liability is a financial obligation, something you must pay to someone. So in the midst of you building that financial wealth, you must always strive to ensure that you concentrate on assets and not liabilities, financial resources and not financial obligations, things or financial situations that will pay you versus financial obligations that you must pay someone. So let's talk about some examples of assets that you should be generating, that you should be aligning with. The first asset is cash. We love cash. You love cash. I love cash. Cash rules, right? So your number one asset that you should attain is cash. Another asset is stocks. Understanding stocks, knowing how stocks make you money, knowing the right stocks to invest in. Stocks are one of the main ways that people build generational wealth, understanding that compound interest, those dividends on the stocks that you do purchase. All of that is considered assets because the dividends pays you. Though you may buy the stock at a certain amount, once that stock increases, that stock pays you. This is the reason why stocks are assets. Another example of an asset would be a savings account, right? A savings account is an asset as well because it can pay you. You can have a savings account with dividends on it. And also, of course, the cash that you have inside of that savings account is that asset, of course. So, two more examples of assets would be your home if you own it, right? So a rental property, that home that is bringing you in money. Now, if you have a mortgage on your home, technically your home is a liability. You must own the home in order for it to become an asset. Now, of course, if you're renting out the home, it's like an Airbnb or something of that nature, then that home is bringing you more money. If you are renting it out for more than your mortgage is for, that will then make your home an asset. But the definition of properties in regards to assets are homes or rental properties that you own that can generate in revenue for you. And so the final asset that I have is vehicles, right? Vehicles that are paid off. For instance, I own my vehicle, so my vehicle would be an asset. I'm able to sell that vehicle if need be, and I'll generate money, or possibly even rent the vehicle out because they're doing that nowadays, right? So again, my vehicle would be an asset. So now that we talked about ways that you can increase your assets, let's also jump into a quick topic about those liabilities, right? So the liabilities topics are the things that you want to decrease. The more you decrease those liabilities, the more you free yourself up financially to be able to obtain more assets. So let's talk about those liabilities or those financial obligations that you have to pay to someone. one of the top financial obligations or liabilities is student loan debt, right? A lot of people want to ignore student loan debt. Again, at Queenhood, we strive to become debt-free. So I will teach you how to pay off your student loan debt. But that student loan debt is one of the top liabilities because you have to pay those student loans back, right? Another liability would be credit card debt. It's easy to swipe up those credit cards when you feel like you're in need of something, but it then becomes a financial obligation because you have to pay that credit card debt back, making credit cards a liability versus an asset, right? Another example of a liability would be personal loans, or again, those mortgages, right? We want, and we all believe and see that mortgages is, or owning a home is like the staple in America of making it or obtaining, the lifestyle, the American dream. But a mortgage is a liability unless your home is paid off or unless you are renting out your home. So your mortgages or even personal loans. A lot of people take out personal loans to financially support other things, but that then turns into a financial obligation because you have to pay this money back, right? So that's the list of our liabilities. Again, I provided that list of the assets. How is it that you can increase those assets and decrease those liabilities? Pay off your debt. When you pay off your debt, it frees up your income, and your income is your greatest financial tool. It's your greatest tool in general for not only becoming debt-free, but for building that legacy, building that generational wealth, and becoming financially free. So like, share, and subscribe this video. Send it to your friends. We're striving to become debt-free over at Queenhood. Again, assets and liabilities. I'll catch you ladies later.